Hola, eh, ¿cómo están? Espero que muy bien. So, I wanted to make this video because there seems to be a little bit of confusion with the verbs and all the tenses because we are already advancing very fast. So, I wanted to explain you some of the different forms we are going to find our verbs in texts or when people speak. Uh, the first subject I'm going to talk about is the impersonal, the non-personal form of verbs. And the second subject would be verb conjugation. That's just a little bit in the end. Most important for me today is the personal and impersonal. Uh, we say a verb is in a personal form when it's conjugated, because that means someone is doing the action. Um, when a verb is in an impersonal form, it means that nobody is doing the action. So, for example, in the infinitive, we have three types of impersonal forms: infinitivo, participio, and gerundio. All three exist in English, and I will explain which would be the translations to English. First of all, the infinitivo form. The endings are ar, ir. This one you already know is just the name of the verb, the name of the action. Hablar, escuchar, bailar, estar, hacer. When a verb is ending in these forms, in English we say to drink, to speak. If I say to talk, nobody's doing the action, it's just the name. And that would make this form of the verb a noun, a sustantivo. We use the infinitivo form to express preference, expresar me gusta, no me gusta, prefiero, odio, I don't like, I hate, odio trabajar, I hate working. Me gusta tocar la guitarra, I like playing the guitar. Now, the participio form is the endings are five: ado, ido, do, so, cho. If you see a verb ending in this way, that means your verb has become an adjective. It exists in English is, for example, break, broken. That ending broken, nobody's doing the action. We're just saying that something is broken, something has been broken. In Spanish, that exists as well. You can make verbs into adjectives. And we are going to use them, like we do in English, we're going to use them to make a present perfect. I have broken my pen. Yo he roto mi pluma. But we'll get to that later. The ones that we are using the most right now are the infinitivo ones. Infinitivo are also used with futuro próximo. That means near future. That's the one we use with the verb to go. I'm going to talk. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to work. Yo voy a hablar. Yo voy a grabar un video para mis alumnas de español. Yo voy a estudiar español en la noche. So yes, so we have infinitivo, participio, and gerundio. Gerundio, it has a weird name, but it's just a continuous way of the verb. The endings are ando and yendo, and in English, the ending would be ing. When we add the ing to a verb, it becomes a noun. Swimming is good for you. The subject is swimming, the name of an action. Um, and we're going to use the gerundio form of the verb in present continuous, the same in English and in Spanish. I am running, yo estoy corriendo. I am sleeping, yo estoy durmiendo. I am talking, estoy hablando. So we're going to use the verb to be that it's, in Spanish would be estar, plus gerundio, más gerundio. And that would be present continuous in Spanish. And futuro próximo is ir más infinitivo. Okay? So if you have any questions about these impersonal forms of the verbs, please take notes, ask me, you can write me and we can talk about that. Just one quick note that I want you to know is that when we translate sentences, for example, like I like ojo, ojo means I look. I like swimming. Swimming. In Spanish, we don't use the gerundio. We don't use this form to express preference. We are going to use infinitivo. When I say I like something, I hate something, I prefer something, we don't use gerundio like you do in English. We're going to use infinitivo. Me gusta nadar. Okay? So look out. I'm gonna send you a text with all this information. So don't worry about writing it down. I'm gonna send it to you in a Word document. Um, Look out for these endings. If you see a word that ends like this, it means that it's a verb, that is an action that nobody's doing. It can be an adjective or it can be a noun. It can be the subject of your sentence. Um, for example, walking is good for you. Caminar es bueno para ti. Um, so that if you have questions, let me know. The second subject I want you to know, or I want to talk about with you, is the verb conjugation. How are we going to divide all these verbs um, in regular, semi-regular, not so regular? We always have a, there's always, to every rule, there's somebody that breaks the rule. In this case, for example, we have regular. We have some examples here. Tocar, vivir, hacer, and estar. We say a verb is regular when the stem doesn't change. So, which the stem would be everything except the radical. We take out AR and we conjugate only with the stem. I think you're already working on present conjugation, so I'm going to skip the endings because maybe all of you already know it. If you don't, let me know and I'll send you more material. I'm going to conjugate the verb tocar, that's to play an instrument or to touch, in present. So I'm going to use the same stem for all my personal pronouns. Yo toco, tú tocas, él toca, nosotros tocamos, ustedes tocan, ellos tocan. Now you're going to ask me, Kathy, why do you always say the personal pronoun when you conjugate? In Spanish, when you speak, you don't say the personal pronoun because the ending already tells you who's doing the action, right? But when you're starting to learn verb conjugation, we always recommend to do this using the personal pronoun. That will help you with the fluency as well. So when you go in your mind thinking, okay, he did this, and then you already associate, él hizo, él toca, nosotros tocamos. So when you practice your conjugations, please try to use the personal pronouns. It will be better in the long run. Now, next one, vivir. Vivir is also a very regular verb. We have a stem, V-I-V. Vivir means to live. And I'm going to conjugate it. Yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, nosotros vivimos, ustedes viven, ellos viven. Um, Yes, in Spanish we don't make the difference between vi and vi. They sound the same. Vivo. Yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, nosotros vivimos, ustedes viven, ellos viven. Now, I have the verb hacer, to do, and the verb estar in the regular column. Why? Because they're 90% regular. The only person, the first person, is a little bit irregular, only the ending. For example, the stem for hacer is HAC. And the first person is yo. Yo hago. I do. I make. Yo hago. And then it goes back to regular. Tú haces. Él hace. Nosotros hacemos. Ustedes hacen. Ellos hacen. So I just put it here because it's almost regular. Now, estar is the same. Only the first person has a little irregularity. Yo estoy, tú estás, él está, nosotros estamos, ustedes están, ellos están. So yes, very, very regular. Now, between the regular color and the irregular one, I have a semi-regular one. In English, you may know them as stem changers. That means the stem is going to change, but it's going to continue being regular for everybody. Stem is going to be the same for all of them, except for nosotros. Listen carefully. For the verb pensar, to think, we have this stem, P-E-N-S, but it's going to change to pien. Okay? Listen. Yo pienso, tú piensas, él piensa, nosotros pensamos, ustedes piensan, ellos piensan. Nosotros is a very regular person. So the stem is going to go back to the original one, but the rest are going to change. The same with venir. Listen, venir has two irregularities, the first person and the stem change. Venir. Yo vengo. Tú vienes. Él viene. Nosotros venimos. Ustedes vienen. Ellos vienen. A very similar one is tener, to have. The first person, irregular, and the stem change. No, yo tengo. Tú tienes. Él tiene. Nosotros tenemos. Ustedes tienen. Ellos tienen. Okay? So for present conjugation, I'm going to give you lists of verbs that are either regular, semi-regular, or irregular, completely irregular. The stem is different for it's completely different than the infinitive. That's why we call them irregular. For example, the verb ser, to be, permanent. Yo soy, tú eres, él es, nosotros somos, ustedes son, ellos son. So the conjugated verb has nothing to do with the infinitive form. Why this happened? Why do we have these kind of verbs? Well, just a little bit of history, something interesting, is that these verbs are so old that they existed even before the rules. The rules came after these verbs. So they don't fit in any rule. So when you have very regular verbs, like tocar, play an instrument, um, it means that these verbs appeared after the rules already existed. So that's why they follow the rules so in such a good manner. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to send you some practice, trying to um, remember the endings, what is an impersonal verb, what is the conjugation of the verbs in present. And the next video, I'm going to talk about reflexive verbs, and I hopefully on the third video can start working with you on past conjugation. But I just want to make sure that you have the present conjugation down, and then so we can move forwards. Okay, so I hope you have an excellent beginning of your weekend, and nos vemos el miércoles.